Welcome to Life After, a podcast for women to take you from feeling like you're just surviving to thriving, to creating a life you really love. Expect to discover tips and tricks to get there. Each episode will have actionable steps to empower you to make changes. I started this podcast because I've been through it all, from getting out of a marriage with a narcissist to completely rebuilding my life. And now I'm on a mission to help you too. You can change your life. It's absolutely possible. Things to remember this holiday season. Breathe. Spend time with those you love. Rest when you can. Be kind to yourself and remember, you don't have to be a superhero. Anna Grace Taylor. The holidays can make many people feel isolated and very alone. Know that you are loved and supported, even if it doesn't feel that way. Bri Luna. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls your life. From the website hometownNP.com. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. Harriet Tubman. In this episode, we're going to talk about strategies to manage the holiday season. Well, first and foremost, happy holidays. Happy holidays. We're about a third of the way through this 2025 holiday season, maybe a little less than that if you count New Year's. And I hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving, that you really got to spend Thanksgiving Day exactly the way you wanted to. For us, we have a very small family, and so we had a nice Thanksgiving dinner, and then my son and I, well, we went to a movie. It's kind of been a tradition of ours to see movies on holidays, and we've done that for the last several years. So don't send me hate mail over this. It's definitely not traditionally what people do on holidays. This time of year can feel so stressful for so many different reasons. Not only are the expectations around how we spend our time different at this time of year, but we're also faced with just needing to show up more at holiday parties, work parties, and for sure there's always more family gatherings. All of this can be a stressor for even the most extroverted. Couple all that normal holiday stuff that we do. Oh man, especially when you throw in there, shopping for gifts and so many things to do. And when you couple that with the current environment we're in, it often feels, this environment more divisive than ever. And then, when you think about talking politics and religion with your outspoken and opinionated uncle, for example, man, all of that can just feel like too much. It can just, send the best of us spinning. So we're going to talk about strategies for getting through it all. Now, some of these strategies might be similar or even the same as last year's strategies. I do this starting, I think it was last year was the first year. I do this an episode around getting through the holidays every year, and we'll continue to do that the first episode of December. So some of the things might be the same, right? Don't fix it if it's not broken. And some will be new. I know that I had, for me, a really particularly difficult year around work and toxic bosses. So some of these tips are going to be all about self-care and putting ourselves first. And I just want you to know that that's something to never, ever, ever feel guilty about. So, the first tip is no is a complete sentence. That's it. That's all you need. Right? That could be the whole episode. No is a complete sentence. No, really. We so often feel or think that we have to explain or justify or defend or give an excuse for the reasons that we're doing something or not doing something. We don't. You get to decide how you are going to spend your holidays. And frankly, it's not anyone else's business how you decide to do that. Now, of course, I'm not saying to be rude or mean about it. That's never what we're talking about in this podcast. You can always be kind when doing what you want that is counter or different to what, say, your family wants you to do. And saying no is your choice. You don't have to host something you don't want to, or attend a party you're not interested in, or spend all day at a family member's home when instead you would just like some quiet downtime at your house. It's okay to say no and put boundaries around your time, your energy, and your money. If it seems like too big of a step, and really, when you've spent a lifetime saying yes to things you don't want to, this can feel like a big step. There is an intermediary step you might consider taking. When I first learned that it's okay for me to say no, I had to kind of contain it for myself. So I often said, no, I can't make it because I have an appointment. And so no one had to know that my appointment, my quote unquote appointment, was going to the movies with the kids. People won't try to convince you to not go to your appointment and to do their thing or event that they want you to do. So if you said to somebody, "Oh, I'm going to the movie with my kids," some people would make you feel guilty around that. Some people would make you feel like that's not important enough compared to what they want or need you to do. But if you say I have an appointment, people don't question that. They just assume that it's something for work or that it's a doctor's appointment, right? Something you can't change easily. So while I don't recommend lying, I'm not saying to go out in the world and lie. That's, again, please don't send me hate mail around that. Sometimes we need a bridge to move away from people pleasing. And you get this. If you're someone that has been a people pleaser, you understand how hard it is. And this way works. So you can give it a try if you'd like. Another way that we can survive the holidays is using one of my favorite strategies. And this one's most often used with toxic people. Just say, okay. Now, the tone and the message of okay can be so varied. Okay. 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 And it works so well because it just says, I'm done. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to continue to have a conversation with you around this. So, you know that obnoxious uncle with the political views you don't ascribe to? Okay. And I want to say sorry to all you uncles out there since I keep using you as my examples. I have the best uncle ever. So, your mother-in-law who's criticizing your pie? Okay. All right. Your neighbor who gives you a dig about the Christmas decorations or the lack thereof? Okay. And then you can walk away or you can change the subject, whichever feels better to you. Or given the circumstance might be more appropriate, whichever fits. Changing the subject brings us to our next strategy, pardon me, which is to redirect people. So this is such a great option. There are several ways you can use this tactic. At its most basic, it's just changing the subject, right? How's your business? Making a lot of money yet? Oh, great. Thanks for asking. How are the kids? How's your job? How's that appetizer that's on their plate, right? Man, that looks good. Maybe I'll go try that. You can redirect them to anything. The decorations in the room, that funny thing that happened yesterday at work. Kids and family are always a great way to redirect. If that first redirect doesn't work, or you could also use this when you're in a situation that you're just like, I need to move on from this conversation. You can remove yourself gracefully. So this is when you say, oh, I'll be right back. I need to use the restroom. Oh, I need to go find Aunt Tina and ask her about that thing she and I were talking about earlier this week. Oh, I gotta go fill my drink. Man, that dessert you have on your plate, man, it looks delicious. I think I'm gonna go grab one before they all get eaten. Right? There are a million ways that we can gracefully extricate ourselves from a conversation. And of course, the most basic is, I need to find the bathroom. I need to use the restroom, right? But you can always kind of extrapolate from there if you need to. And when all else fails, if you feel like the suggestions I've made so far are either not who you are, they're not going to fit, they don't feel good, you're not ready, whatever they are, when all else fails, have a plan with someone else at the same event so you can rely on each other to get out of those uncomfortable conversations you don't want to deal with, right? So you got a buddy. Always use your buddy. The thing is, the reality is, even when it feels a little uncomfortable, sometimes we've got to create our own boundaries because someone that we're spending time with, maybe they just don't get it, or they don't have the social graces, or maybe they don't care, or, right, it's the holiday season. Maybe they've just had too much to drink, right? There can be a whole bunch of reasons why they're crossing a line. And in many cases, when we give people the benefit of the doubt, they don't even really mean to do it. And let's face it, we've all been there, right? How many times have you thought to yourself in a situation, oh man, I really stuck my foot in that time? Like I certainly have. So their intent might not be to be making you uncomfortable. Like that's not necessarily the focus of why we're trying to wander off. The reason for us doing it is that sometimes we just simply need ways to politely and gracefully extricate ourselves whenever it's needed, whenever we feel we need it. All right, so the next tip is to take time for yourself. Now, I wonder how many of you are laughing at me right now, rolling your eyes at me, laughing at me, not with me. So the thing is, regardless of whether we're introverts or extroverts, everybody needs some kind of downtime, right? Most extroverts feel really energized by being around others. And so if that's you, then maybe this tip won't apply to you. But even extroverts, in my experience, do need at least a little bit of downtime. So for all the rest of you, or the rest of us, it's okay. It's okay. You have permission. Sometimes we just need permission from somebody else. You have permission to create time and space for yourself to ensure you get some peace and quiet this holiday season. So I was just talking to a friend this week, And she was telling me how she wasn't going to schedule anything on Sundays between now and the end of the year so she could ensure that she got time to reset each week because she's noticed her schedule is getting so much busier. So while taking an entire day every week might not be right for you, I invite you to consider that even a quick 15-minute walk outside or listening to music or petting your dog or cat can help us take a moment for quiet and peace. So if you're really starting to feel this holiday season is a drain, or that you're really feeling tapped out and you have so many commitments, try to fit in just 15 minutes and notice how that can help rejuvenate you a little. My final strategy for today is sleep. Sleep, 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 sleep. So much research has been done recently, just in the last few years, about the importance of sleep, how many benefits us getting our sleep are. And it is so incredibly important, especially when we think about getting through the holidays for some people as unscathed as possible. So this should be at the forefront of your plan, getting sleep. And maybe it's because I have so much struggle around my own sleep. I never seem to get enough. It's hard for me to sleep through the night, right? For those of you that, get that. So I think I'm often really focused on this, pardon me, both as a reminder to myself and to all of you out there. I think it's a little bit of Dr. Heal Thyself, maybe, right? We got to focus on getting our sleep. When we don't get enough sleep, everything in our life can become more challenging. And for so many people, including me, when we get into the holiday season and there's so much more to do, sleep is the first thing that goes out the window, right? I'm inviting you and myself to not let sleep be the first thing that we give up. Try to find pockets of time during the day that you might not normally think of to get some of the extra things done that the holidays always add. So, can you do a little shopping on your lunch break, for example? Or can you shift things around so that you can finish your day a little earlier? What are ways that maybe you can stack your errands to save time and energy? Even what can you temporarily stop doing this holiday season to incorporate all the other activities that are part of our holiday season? No, I know it can seem impossible to do any of those things, especially if you're like me and you already live a really full and busy life. You already have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of, well, for me, it's like there's so many things I want to do, right? So I've got so many categories of things I want to be doing. So I know it can seem so hard. I really, really get it. And I just want to remind you that sleep is one of our most important regulators. So really consider what else you can give up to still get your sleep. It'll be worth it in the long run, I promise. I hope that you find these strategies helpful as you move through your holiday season, and maybe even take a few of them into 2026 with you. I wish you the happiest of holidays. This podcast is a valuable resource for anyone seeking to make meaningful changes in their life. I'm here to support you on your unique journey, offering guidance and encouragement every step of the way. There will be new episodes on the second and fourth Wednesday every month. Please follow on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss any episodes. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's episode on how to survive the holidays. Remember, you've got choices. It's possible to move through the holiday seasons with joy and peace. Use these strategies for a happy, healthy holidays. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. As we wrap up, here's the thing. I've made every mistake. I've literally been there and done that. It's one step at a time, and you'll get there. There's hope. You've got this. If you're struggling in a relationship and wondering if it might be controlling, you're not alone. Download my free PDF at locatecoaching.com/free gift to help you find clarity and confidence. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.